the makeup for The Bride of Frankenstein is an absolute masterpiece. It's the only iconic female monster to ever come out of the movies. I mean, if you were to think of a classic female monster, it's The Bride of Frankenstein that immediately comes to mind.
The Elsa Lanchester makeup I found very fascinating because it was very different from the Karloff makeup. And I'm sure what they wanted to do was have her attractive, you know. You didn't want to have a hideous woman, you know, monster. I don't know if it was an executive decision or what, saying, you know, we can't have an ugly woman monster. So they came up with this, again, another icon, you know. When you think of The Bride of Frankenstein, everybody knows that wacky hairstyle, you know. It kind of had that Egyptian Nefertiti kind of look to it. They actually had this wire cage on her head, and that was actually really her hair that was mixed in with it. And they probably filled it in with some crepe wool or something to do that. And the white streaks, and the crazy white streaks, and yet she was very made up, you know, almost wore basically a glamour makeup. If it wasn't for the fact that they had the scar around the neck, it would have looked like, you know, some glamorous woman with a wacky hairstyle. And I know, from what I heard, Elsa Lanchester wasn't too fond of Pierce. I heard, which I was sorry to hear. You know, I actually, you know, as someone who I idolized, like Jack Pierce, you know, I've heard from a number of people that he was a crotchety old guy.